Hey everyone, Sean here just with an update on the MGB. Just to give you a bit of an idea of the timeline of these projects on the MGB, the plan from the beginning was always to strip the outside back to the bare steel and do the body repairs and then paint. Underneath, I was just doing a good clean up, re-stone guard and colour it. We'll do all the engine bay, everything like that, but I'm just going to give it like a good sand down inside and paint, not doing back to bare steel on the inner. I don't think that they draw the value to do like a full-blown resto, hence why I didn't blast an epoxy as well. Normally that's the first step on a high end. When I try and save some money, lower end builds, I'll strip it back, do the body repair, get the epoxy on the top, at least that way you still got a moisture barrier, but just a little bit more of a cost-effective one. Sure, it's not going to be potentially as good, but you know, you do save like thousands of dollars in labor time and material costs, and as long as you still put a good amount of epoxy on there for moisture barrier, and also don't leave the metal exposed too long. We just try and knock out these repairs as quick as we can and then seal. I've already got the boot and the bonnet, they're already sealed off. I quickly do the quarter repairs, seal them off, so we won't waste too much time with the bare steel. But as it stands right now, I've got 75 hours done on the car, so who knows where we're going to finish. We might do about 200 hours. Like, you know, we're making good progress, but you've got to assume we've still got to get all the mechanical back in, we've got to get all the cross member back in, you know, we've got to get all the trim in, so it quickly stacks up. So if you're thinking, you know, average shop rates, you know, you might have someone spending sort of like, you know, $25,000-$30,000. So yeah, starts to get expensive if you're sort of not planning on keeping it long term, or if you're, and this is why I say you don't want to try and pay someone to do this and then try and flip it for profit, because we all know that MGB is probably not going to be getting that by the time you purchase, spend that on it, and then you still haven't even addressed like doing mechanical rebuilds or anything. The price of all the parts that you purchase as you reassemble, you know, putting new mirrors, new stainless molds, new chrome bars, stuff like that. So yeah, sitting at 75 hours now. Bonnet's repaired, boots repaired, both of them are painted on the inside already. I've got one door repaired. The other quarter panel is probably about 90% done. This one here, probably about halfway through. So I think we're chugging along. We're sort of keeping on target. I think 200 hours probably be where I want to sort of land, and that should get us a pretty nice car that'll be looking pretty good on the street. It'll have good longevity, good paint process still, good quality materials, and just using the right kind of tools as well. When you want to get a panel looking straight, like this is a small car, but I like to use some big blocks, you know, like if I'm to sort of stand this guy up on there to give you an idea, you know, that's a good long block. You don't want to try and block down a quarter panel with a block this size. You know, it's going to be very hard to get it straight. That's where you'll see on the lower end cars, like people will just have a small block and they just give a quick little sand, and you'll see there'll be like little ripples down the sides of the quarter panels and the doors and stuff like that. It takes a lot of effort to make it look truly straight and not look like it's loaded with bog work, you know, like sometimes they actually put too much bog in and they block it poorly and it looks bad. But you find like this one was a pretty good body. You generally get a good little skim over the whole thing. It might only be like, you know, 1/2 mil to 1 mil thick, but it just takes that real good block to get it to look like it's actually truly straight, brand new sheet metal. So because we've got to remember, this is 1967, so the likelihood of being able to file it up flawlessly, it's outside of my scope. I wouldn't spend the time. It wouldn't be worth it. You'd be better off buying brand new panels and doing it. Or another way is using like a spray epoxy, spray filler, but that's more expensive too. Like, I don't know, in Australian dollars, I think they're around $380 for a kit of spray polyester, whereas a tin of bog you can get for like $50. So if you can pull it in nice and get a really good block on it, then you can save the money in terms of that as well. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna keep on kicking on, and we'll see how we go with it, huh? Yeah, pretty happy so far. All right, I'll keep you updated.